Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have an update to that Mega Drive Mini 2 that indicates it could be coming to the US. And are we getting ready to see GoldenEye 007 drop for the Xbox and the Switch? We have those topics and more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. Only about 10% of the people who watch my videos are actual subscribers, so it would help the channel out a lot. Now let's get started. First, Limited Run Games had their presentation yesterday, and they had a whole lot of announcements. And first of all, if you haven't watched that, it's actually quite entertaining. They designed the whole presentation like a full motion video game. But we got quite a bit of announcements, and I'll have them all up here on the screen, but I'm not going to read through every one of them. But to hit some of the highlights, we are going to see Blossom Tales 2 for the Switch in 2022. If you're a fan of shoot 'em ups, you have Don Don Pachi Resurrection coming to the Switch, and then we have Doom 64 coming in physical to the Xbox, while Doom Eternal is going to be getting a physical release finally for the Switch. And if you're having a presentation modeled after full motion video games, you gotta announce Night Trap coming to the PlayStation 5 this time. And Plumbers Don't Wear Ties Definitive Edition. You can look that up on your own time. We're getting a physical version of Shantae for the PS5 and PS4, with the pre-orders to open on August 26th. And then we have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 coming to the Switch and the PC this summer. And then they toyed with us with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge by pretending they're going to give us an announced date, but all they did was tell us that there's going to be a special edition with an art book, sprite stickers, and a reversible cover. And one of the funnier things in here is that it will include a coupon for your own personal pizza at Pizza Hut. So there's definitely a whole lot of announcements here. Some of these may be better than others. I don't know all of these games, so I just kind of hit the ones that I know the best. But let me know in the comments if there's any of them that you saw on that list that you're really looking forward to holding a physical copy in your collection. So we had the announcement in Japan for the Sega Mega Drive Mini 2. And since then, Yosuke Okunari, who is the producer for the Mini 2, did an interview with Famitsu, and there's some interesting information coming out from that. First, let's take a look at that interview through Google Translate, so it might be a little weird in the wording. But he was basically asked where did the idea from the Mega Drive Mini 2 come from, and we'll skip down to the second paragraph. This is a little more interesting. In fact, some of you may say, isn't it a Sega Saturn Mini, or I want a Dreamcast Mini? It's not that we didn't think about that direction. Games such as the Sega Saturn cannot be fully run on the board mounted on the Mega Drive Mini. So that's basically saying that it'd be very hard to run a Sega Saturn emulator given the hardware they're already using for the Mega Drive Mini. So a Mega Drive Mini 2 made the most sense. And then the next paragraph, it basically says the development of new boards has been stagnant due to basically coronavirus. And of course, it'll be a fairly expensive product in terms of cost. And then that goes along with the other question that he was asked, which is it going to come overseas and not just be released in Japan? And his answer here through Google Translate basically says, that's right, to be honest, the Mega Drive Mini sells many times more than Japan in North America and Europe. Basically saying they could move more units in North America and Europe combined than they could in Japan. And then the explanation goes on to say, however, this time I dared to increase the distribution of Japan where the faces of customers are visible. Okay, this is kind of weird wording, but it's basically saying they wanted to focus on Japan and not worry about supply constraints. And then he says, of course, we are preparing for overseas expansion, but the sales volume is centered on Japan. So it does sound like they're planning to bring some kind of Mega Drive Mini 2, which would be a Sega Genesis Mini 2, to the US at some point. But because of the supply constraints, we probably aren't going to see it this year. So that kind of gets me excited to see some Sega CD games come stateside through a Genesis Mini 2. There's a couple of Lunar games. Of course, you've got Sonic CD as one of the most popular versions of Sonic. I believe there's a Final Fight CD. And then, of course, you have Shining Force CD. So there's a whole lot of great games that could be brought to a Sega Genesis Mini. Let me know in the comments which ones you would like to see. We also talked recently about how the Xbox achievements for GoldenEye 007 were showing up on the True Achievements website. Well, it looks like they're also showing up on the main Microsoft Xbox website as well. You can see the screenshot here. This is from the official Xbox website. And we've also seen the name of some of these achievements change. So this seems like they're actively working on this. And it's more than just some dev playing in their spare time. Now, a lot of people are expecting this to shadow drop at this Sunday's showcase, but I do have to wonder, would Nintendo really allow this to be only on the Xbox and not a Nintendo Switch version? So this does make me wonder if we're going to see a direct around maybe Wednesday or Thursday and they announce that 007's coming to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if this does drop on the Xbox on Sunday. Is it going to be the original Nintendo 64 version, or will it be that remastered 360 version that leaked out a few months ago? Personally, I would like to see that remaster version come to the Xbox under Game Pass for free and have the Nintendo 64 version come out on the expansion pack for the Switch. And while we're on the topic of the Xbox showcase on Sunday, Microsoft announced that they're also going to be doing an extended show. We have this from news.xbox.com. Will there be an extended show? Yes, stay tuned for the Xbox Game Showcase Extended on June 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific, which would be 1 p.m. Eastern, where we will share new trailers, take deeper looks at the news from the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, and speak with some of your favorite game creators. This all-new broadcast is approximately 90 minutes in length, and will be broadcast live, and then they list a whole bunch of different languages. So it doesn't sound like they're going to have any new information here or new games shown, but it looks like they're going to be going into a lot more detail at what's shown at the showcase on Sunday. So if you want a deeper dive into anything that's shown on Sunday, make sure you set your calendar for this extended showcase. And finally, in a little bit of interesting Nintendo news, it looks like Nintendo has created some new LLCs. IGN picked up this article, but they link here to this tweet from this user that says, there are copyright records for the Illumination Mario movie, which have the expected companies listed, but there's also new companies, Nintendo Studios LLC and M Brothers Production LLC. Now, this brought a lot of people to the speculation that Nintendo is going to be really getting heavy into the movie business. The article from IGN states, some have speculated that Nintendo has set up these companies as part of its visual content expansion initiative, perhaps signaling that more projects will be announced in this space in the future, while others have pointed out that it's standard procedure for movies to have its own LLC for legal reasons, and that it may be strictly for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now, there have been speculations for a while that there's going to be a Donkey Kong movie, and Nintendo did announce in a corporate management policy briefing back in 2020 that they did plan to expand out in more entertainment avenues. So while these LLCs may just be used for the new Mario movie, don't be surprised if we don't see more in the future, just given the fact that Nintendo has said that's the way they want to go. I just hope they don't take something like The Legend of Zelda and make a really cheesy movie out of it. Perhaps an animated series may be the best option for those games. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Are you interested in a physical copy of any of those games announced by Limited Run Games? And who do you think will announce 007 first, Nintendo or Xbox? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we discussed today. I want to thank you for watching and be good.